A domino effect is taking place. Each country will gradually accept it. The adoption of Bitcoin is unavoidable. The adoption of cryptocurrencies as a national currency is unlikely to be attractive in countries with stable inflation and exchange rates, as well as in countries with trustworthy institutions. Countries with less stable economic environments may find it more advantageous to employ a reserve currency that is internationally recognized, such as the dollar or the euro. Crypto could be used for illegal purposes. In turn, this might put a country's financial system and fiscal balance at risk, as well as its relationship with foreign governments and correspondent banks. According to the International Monetary Fund, legal concerns could arise as a result of the use of cryptocurrencies as a national currency. But more than 6 months have passed since El Salvador became the first government in the world to recognize Bitcoin as legal cash, despite the fact that the process has been sluggish. Legal tender is money, often coins and banknotes, that must be accepted as payment for a debt if it is presented in exchange for it. Despite stating in January that it is considering whether to launch a central bank digital currency known as CBDC, Malaysia's central bank has not taken a clear position on whether Bitcoin should be accepted as legal cash. Early this month, Deputy Finance Minister Yamani Hafez Musa stated that Bitcoin is not an acceptable mode of payment for the country, citing the fact that digital currencies are subject to extreme fluctuations in value. Is it possible that Malaysia will follow? According to a report from Bloomberg, the country's Deputy Minister of Communications and Multimedia, Zahidi Zanul, believes that Bitcoin and other crypto assets should be recognized as legal cash. "We are hopeful that the administration will grant us permission," he said in Parliament. Zahidi stated that Malaysia's finance ministry, as well as institutions such as the country's central bank and the Securities Commission, would be in charge of regulating cryptocurrency, but he did not elaborate on how his ministry would be involved in the cryptocurrency space. However, according to Bloomberg in January, the central bank is considering introducing a central bank digital currency, abbreviated CBDC, to facilitate the transfer of funds between banks. Malaysia is a participant in Project Dunbar, which is testing the usage of CBDCs in conjunction with a number of other nations. A number of countries, including Ukraine, have legalized cryptocurrency, making it the most recent to do so. However, all countries, with the exception of one, have refrained from recognizing cryptocurrency as legal cash, instead of establishing a regulatory framework for digital assets. El Salvador is the first country in the world to have made cryptocurrency legal tender. In a high-profile statement, the country said it would legalize Bitcoin as legal tender and that it would mine the cryptocurrency using geothermal energy from a volcano. The launch, on the other hand, got off to a shaky start because the price of Bitcoin dropped. At the time of its inception, the country's digital wallet, Shivo, was not available in a number of app stores. According to a thorough investigation by Rest of the World, glitches have continued to plague Shivo in the months since El Salvador embraced Bitcoin, and independent polling and analysis indicate that the vast majority of the country's businesses have not yet begun to accept Bitcoin payments for their products. Malaysia has recently experienced difficulties with Bitcoin mining operations in the country. According to police in the country, Bitcoin miners stole around $2 million in electricity in the year of 2020 alone. Theft of computing power for Bitcoin mining is already a common problem in the country, despite the fact that the practice is prohibited. However, despite the difficulties, countries are continuing to investigate the use of digital currencies. The United States is also looking into cryptocurrency. The Biden administration recently detailed a strategy for digital assets that includes research on the impact of cryptocurrency, as well as a call for the Commerce Department to build a framework for cryptocurrencies, among other things. Among the many domains within the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Communications and Multimedia are well-known sectors such as broadcast and internet infrastructure, along with a slew of smaller ones such as digital signatures. Besides the Prime Minister, Malaysia's executive branch consists of a Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation, as well as a Ministry of Finance, all of which would likely have an influence on any government intentions to adopt cryptocurrencies. Malaysia's administration has not offered many hints that it's pursuing a crypto-first strategy similar to that of El Salvador. It is investigating the possibility of a central bank digital currency, as do several other countries. A trial with the Bank for International Settlements was held in September of 2021, and the central bank revealed in January that it was developing a prototype system to enhance our technical and policy capabilities, should the need to issue a CBDC arise in the future. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that exists independently of governments, unlike central bank digital currencies, which are simply electronic replicas of a current national currency. Central banks are unable to handle Bitcoin in the same manner that they manage monetary policy, for example by increasing interest rates or purchasing government bonds. While nations that become Bitcoin whales have the ability to impact markets by purchasing or selling the commodity, smaller countries are largely at the mercy of the asset's fluctuating value. At a time when the price of Bitcoin was a notch above $50,000, El Salvador declared Bitcoin legal tender in September. Bitcoin has reached an all-time high of more than $68,000, but it has also fallen to a low of less than $34,000, according to CoinMarketCap. In short, its usage as a medium of exchange is still in its infancy, and even the majority of Salvadorian enterprises have not yet dealt with Bitcoin transactions, as the United States dollar continues to be the dominant currency in the country. Malaysia, on the other hand, has a more diversified economy than El Salvador, as well as a higher-earning populace. In addition, according to Chainalysis' 2021 Global Crypto Adoption Index, it has more cryptocurrency users than El Salvador, ranking 23rd in terms of adoption compared to 89th in El Salvador. As one Malaysian expert put it in regards to Malaysia being a legal tender in the future, the likelihood of Malaysia becoming a legal currency in the future is very high. But, given the current situation, it's a hard uphill struggle. Although legalization and policy clearance on cryptocurrency is becoming a bipartisan stand in Malaysian politics, with both opposition and ruling parties in favor of it, there are a few outliers, said Harpreet Mon, president of Access Blockchain Association Malaysia. Mon did, however, point out that Malaysian authorities and regulators would need some time to catch up and implement regulations to promote the use of cryptocurrencies as legal tender throughout the country. He further said, Malaysia is a relatively mature economy with solid institutions to support conventional business sectors. However, we may need to restructure in order to support the industries of the future. The long-term impact of Bitcoin usage in Malaysia will be a beneficial driving force for our industries to become more competitive and inventive, Mon continued. Malaysia is a forward-thinking global leader in Islamic finance, and the country's adoption of Bitcoin might have a significant impact on other global hubs of Islamic money. Governments throughout the world are confronted with a growing number of challenges as a result of the increasing acceptance of cryptocurrencies, according to Gunnar Jarv of First Digital Trust. He stated, "I'm not going to lie. What is obvious, however, is that governments all over the world have been compelled to establish task groups, laws, and regulatory frameworks pertaining to cryptocurrency trading. It reflects the fact that sovereign states are more attentive to the interests and wants of their constituents and market forces, and that the crypto sector has grown to be far too important to ignore. Young people are at the forefront of this transformation, as the increasing integration of our physical and digital worlds, facilitated by blockchain and other emerging technologies, is influencing the public discourse on these issues and issues related to blockchain. Increased use of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is undoubtedly a reflection of the shifting perspectives that young people have concerning the future of business and their own personal finances. Malaysia has no plans to recognize cryptocurrencies as legal cash, according to the country's deputy finance minister, who spoke in parliament. Because of a variety of constraints, including price swings and sensitivity to cyber risks, cryptocurrency, such as Bitcoin, is not suited for use as a payment instrument, according to Mod Sahar Abdullah. His remarks came only a few days after a minister in the Southeast Asian country encouraged the government to legalize cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin as a means of increasing youth participation in the cryptocurrency field. As the technology and payment landscape evolves, Mod Sahar explained that the Bank Negara Malaysia is actively evaluating the possibility of Bank's Digital Currency Central or the central bank's digital currency. If you loved the video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Thanks for watching.